What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Karl Amon. His contract is nearly pretty much done for the year. He's a free agent at the end of the season, and there's options and rumours and everything going around floating his name to certain clubs. So we're going to be discussing Karl Amon and will he stay at Port Adelaide in season 2023. You take it back 3 years ago and Karl Amon was on the verge of leaving Port Adelaide. He wanted to go home to St Kilda, where his mum works, and he wanted to explore his options. And in the end, Port Adelaide said, "Hey, no, you're a required player. We see the improvement." Obviously, he had glimpses. His injuries were there, and in the end, he ended up staying and produced a pretty damn good 2020 season and a pretty bloody damn good 2021 season, which should have got him a nod for the All-Australian, which was such a shame. But Karl Amon's ability to move the footy inside forward 50 is next to none at Port Adelaide, and obviously being a little bit off this year, just like the rest of the team, he struggled a little bit to be at his full 100% in those areas. But the glimpses have been there, and he's still getting the touches. He's still delivering key forwards balls inside 50, and he's developing his game into the inside role as well as an inside mid. And I like him at centre bounces. I think he brings an extra dynamic, especially with the left foot and his pace, and his ability to hit the scoreboard when he can. I think a little bit more of that as well would be great for Karl. But overall, his season in 2022 hasn't been great, probably highlighted by the confidence he had in round 5 against Carlton, where he tried to take a set shot from 50 out and basically shanked the thing. That would have been an opportunity for Port to win the game. Got dropped the next week against West Coast, but was a late in the week after. So technically it hasn't been dropped, but the writing has been on the wall for Karl Amon, and the circulation of rumours of will he stay, will he go, it's definitely leaning towards he's gone. With Melbourne and Carlton in his sights. I think St Kilda's a fairly good runner as well, because that's obviously where his mum works. And Port Adelaide, I don't think, have resisted any temptation to let him go. A good compensation might come our way, and I think those conversations will be happening. I'm not going to speculate what's going to happen with Karl Amon. I'm one of his fans. I think his ability to come from what he was as a child and his ability to grow as a person into what he is now, a leader, I think, and very much could be in the leadership group, I feel, with the way he helps with the community service and the Aboriginal programs. And we've seen him go out to different clubs, and he was just at the News Corp building during the week, delivering a speech about Indigenous sport and athletes ever growing in today's sporting society. So for that, I think Karl Amon is someone as a person you want in your footy club, and his ability to grow as he has is second to none. And that's just off the field. I think he seems to be a very talented person off the field. I know he's a lot of photography skills that he's got. He's great, and he's well liked around the footy club. Very well popular. On the field, I think he's pretty similar. I think a lot of people like the way he goes about his footy. He very much works hard. He doesn't have the greatest of skills, but I think the change of Port Adelaide that's coming could benefit him a lot more than, say, going to another club and trying to fit in and taking another couple of years to just really find momentum in a club again. Or he could just flick the switch straight away and just become elite levels like he was in 2021. So for Karl, I think, will he stay at Port Adelaide? My heart says no. My head says no. Do I want him to stay? Yes. And I think it's important that Karl Amon stays as well for two reasons. One, for that dynamic ability that he has of delivering the ball inside 50 and being in the right spot on the wing, and the run and carry he has that we haven't seen enough of. We have replacements for him. I will say that. I think we have enough replacements. Riley Bonner can go up onto that wing. Xavier Dersma. The run and carry aspect of that, we have replacements. But I think his ball smarts and his delivery is just a little bit better. And he's become one of those players that you want the ball in his hands. You want the footy with Karl Amon. The other aspect of him leaving as well is it deteriorates that reputation that Port Adelaide has of we want people to stay and we need people to stay, so people actually stay. It's a cultural club. People stay for the culture. They stay for the ability to get a game of footy, the hard work they put in, they get rewarded for. Not enough as much now as it should be, but compared to across the road at West Lakes, or other clubs where players just leave. I know it's the modern era and players can now just get up and go, but players have stayed at Port Adelaide. They've signed at Port when they've resisted the opportunity to go to Victoria or go somewhere else. And that started with Jackson Trengove and Travis Boak. And ever since, players have wanted to come from other clubs to Port Adelaide, or they've resisted temptation to go. The only few that I could say would be Jared Pollock, look where he's ended up, and Jasper Pittard, look where he ended up. Pete Adams as well is probably another one you can throw into the mix there, but that was more so Port Adelaide pushing him out as such. And it's the ability of players that have the key stakes in what happens with the club from now on. It's their updoing. The supporters can have only so much say, and if Port Adelaide want to be in this position right now, which is sitting 12th on the ladder, or 11th on the ladder, or wherever we are, not in a position to be charging for the flag, it's now up to the players. The players can choose what happens next at Port Adelaide. The supporters will demand everything and anything possible, which we have been for the last few years, but it's up to the players. The club can make decisions all they like. It's the players that, if they want to play for this football club and they want success, they've got to make that choice now. And Karl Amon is one of them. If he wants to go off and go for an opportunity somewhere else, great. Support him in that aspect and let him go. But put an offer on the table for him, because honestly, he's got to be wanted. He's got to feel wanted, and that's what players have got to feel. It happens at any football club, at any level. Players are going to want to feel wanted for them to get an opportunity at success. Not just a spot on the team sheet, a spot at success. And that's what Karl Amon, I think, needs. So the opportunity is there. The ball's in probably Port Adelaide's court. Karl Amon's obviously going to make the final decision, but the ball's in Port's court to see exactly what happens with this scenario. So I'm keen to see how it all pans out in the upcoming weeks. But for now, we've got a season to finish, and hopefully Karl's performances can continue on, and may the best of both worlds get what they want. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on Karl Amon and what will happen with his decision making. I'll put a poll up on my Instagram, and most people want Karl Amon to stay. So the fans want him. Do the club want him? Does Karl want to stay? We'll wait and see to the end of that. But thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content coming your way across the rest of the 2022 season. We're pushing for 5,000 subscribers, so make sure you jump on board if you haven't already. My name's Anthony, and as always, can't pair.